This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by super-welterweight contender Erickson Lubin. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. Big fight for you coming up. You made easy work of the last one, Jesus Ramos this time around on the Canelo card. Um, what do you expect? What sort of challenge do you expect him to provide?
I'm expecting him to come, hungry. He throws with heat, so he's coming to fight. I know he's coming to fight, but I feel like um I got the experience over him. Um, I also come with heat, so it's gonna be a fun fight to watch for the fans.
I've seen this described in various places as a crossroads fight. It's crazy. You're 27 years old. It feels like you've been around forever. You turned pro obviously very young. Do you see this as a crossroads fight? Are you kind of the veteran in this one?
Um, yeah, I'm the veteran in this fight. But they forget that I'm just 27 years old. You know, still got a lot of fight in me, even though I've been in the ring with, you know, the best. Um, this right here is just gonna solidify for me that um, I am one of the best in this division, which they already know, but I feel like they'll rank me even higher as one of the best in the division. Um, but I don't really care how they look at it. I know how I'm looking at it as a must-win fight for myself. I look at every fight like that. You know, um, I'm just ready, man. I'm ready. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just ready. I'm ready to go out there and show this young kid that he bit off more than he could chew.
And you made quick work of Luis Arias last time out, as we mentioned at the start. Before that, you were in an absolute war with Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno. Absolute great to watch. What was it like to be in there? It looked a very punishing fight for both of you.
Um, it was a firefight. I was at war. It felt like a war. Going back into the corner. I barely wanted to even go to the corner. I just wanted to keep fighting. It was a great fight, great matchup. Um, I didn't, after he floored me in the second round, I didn't really follow the game plan, which I should have. For me following the game plan, is a big part of being a professional. And you know, I felt like if I would have followed the game plan, it would have been a much easier fight for myself. But yeah, with the injuries and stuff like that, even though I was winning the fight, you know, with the with my face the way it was looking and everything like that. I had my shoulder out of place and stuff. My trainer decided to stop the fight, but if it was up to me, I would have definitely kept fighting to the last bell. But he was just looking out for me. And I definitely want that rematch. I'm looking at Jesus Ramos right now. That's the only guy on my sights right now. But I'm definitely looking to rectify all the defeats that I have on my record, which is against Charlo, which is against Fundora.
Do you think now, looking at the Fundora fight, that you can take a lot of positives from it? Because, as you said, you deviated from the game plan and you were still winning on the two of the three cards when it was stopped.
Yeah, I definitely take a lot out of it, and next fight, if there's a next fight, definitely make it easier for myself. But right now, like I said, Jesus Ramos.
And you mentioned Charlo there, who, as you explained, inflicted the first defeat on your career. He was champion then. He's still the champion now, or at least for most of the bodies, but he's moving up to super middle to fight Canelo on the same card. What sort of chance do you give him? Obviously, you know him pretty well. It's a big jump up in size, but maybe not in talent and ability.
I feel like I give him a pretty good chance. I give him a pretty good chance because he's um he's always a live dog, and people don't credit his IQ. He has a good IQ, So I feel like you know he's still in his prime, and he'll be able to do some things that Canelo hasn't seen in the recent years. In recent years, with the guys he's been fighting, um, Charlo's live and he's better than what people think.
And you said he's still in his prime. Do you feel Canelo's still in his prime?
Yeah, I do feel like he's still in his prime. He's still in his prime, but he just looked a little bit off for his last couple fights. But if he brings that old Canelo back, then Charlo could be in trouble.
And when you see Charlo, someone you've shared a ring with, you didn't look undersized in that fight. Going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, does it make you think about maybe going up the weights? Maybe not 2 weight classes, but certainly to middleweight.
Eventually, I definitely I got to take care of this division first. It's always been my goal to be a 154-pound champion. So once I take care of that, then we can talk about going up to maybe middleweight. I was actually interested in going up to middleweight before this. When I was fighting Luis Arias, because I felt like the belts were being held by Charlo. He wasn't fighting much, but to see how things are back in play, it's always been a dream of mine to be a 154-pound champion.
And would you expect, obviously, a lot of people are thinking Charlo, win or lose, will probably vacate the rest of the titles at 154. Would you expect the winner of yourself and Ramos to be right in line for one of those belts?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you want to unify the division, or is there a particular title you'd like?
I want to unify the division, of course. That's always great, but I like all the belts, like all the hardware. They all look good to me.
Good stuff. Glad to hear it. Now, who do you think are apart from yourself, of course, who do you think are the prime contenders to be the number one at 54 if Charlo does stay away from the weight class?
Number one?
Yeah, who are the contenders apart from yourself? Who are your rivals for that number one slot?
I feel like Jesus Ramos has definitely put himself there. I feel like Sebastian Fundora, he's still up there. Tim Tszyu, he's about to be elevated as champion, so he's already going to be the WBO champion. I feel like right now those are just the names that come to my mind.
Now, you, as I said earlier, turned pro very young. Do you think in some ways it's a good thing that you haven't won that world title yet, because you're still motivated, you're still hungry, as you said earlier? If you'd won it at 22 years old or whatever, that may not have been the case.
No, I'd still be champion. Still be champion if that was the case. I'm always hungry. You know, now or later it's gonna happen.
And what?
I feel like,
Sorry.
it did make me hungry though. It did make me hungry, and it kept me hungry.
Tell us a little bit about your life outside of the ring and outside of the gym. Have you got a family of your own, and what do you kind of get up to when you're not fighting and sparring and training?
Yeah, just most of the time chilling with my family. I got two beautiful children. I hang out with them most of the time, and I don't know. I like to play basketball a little bit. Nice at basketball. Um, Play video games and stuff. Just most of the time, just hanging out, getting ready for that phone call.
Yeah. How old are your kids, and how aware are they of what you do as a job?
I got a 6-year-old, and my daughter turns 2 next week. A week before I do. Before my birthday, she turns 2. My birthday's on October 1st, which is the day after the fight on September 30th. So I'm extra motivated. Definitely plan on spending my birthday celebrating a win and another year of life.
And your 6-year-old certainly must be aware of that you're a professional boxer at this point. Are they into it?
Yeah. He's a big fan of mine. He looks up to me. Even my daughter, she's starting to understand. Like, my dad's on TV. I put on my fights. and we flew out to LA a couple weeks ago for the press conference, and it was live. And you know, she was actually like, she saw me on the TV, and she's going crazy. So that was it was a bittersweet moment. I got to see that. You know, they sent me videos and stuff. She's pointing at the TV. It's on my Instagram. She's pointing at the TV, looking at me and stuff like that. So it's definitely you know, I'm not just fighting for myself. I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it, you know, for my family, for my loved ones, and the people that support me.
Well, let's hope you've got even more reason to make them proud on October the 1st, as well as your birthday to celebrate, of course, as well the next day.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your time, and very best of luck on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take
Thanks
care.
for having me.